Welcome to the Raven Space on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is a Raven Space Daily where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We have some topics for you. We're going to talk about Jimmy Smith's latest injury. We're going to talk about some coaching issues, whether Flacco is outdated for the NFL, and we have a mailbag question that comes from you guys, so please stay to the very end. Again, subscribe to the Raven Space on YouTube if you're not yet subscribed, and a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers because you guys are the lifeblood of the Raven Space. Thank you guys so much. We're going to hit into the first topic of the day, and it came through from the injury list for Thursday. As you guys know, the Ravens play on Sunday, so Thursday they have injury list. Friday you'll get the, whether they're out or whether they're in or all that good stuff. But however, on the injury list today, it showed Jimmy Smith being out with an Achilles injury. If you guys are giant Ravens fans like I am, you remember last year, even the year before, when we didn't have Jimmy Smith, the defense fell apart. And not the overall defense, but the pass defense. And then you have to bring safeties, back to defend against that. So now you don't have that hope in the run defense. And it's just one big thing after another. And it was tough last year. Jimmy Smith, in my opinion, is a great cornerback. Currently, he is the best cornerback on the Baltimore Ravens. And if we don't have him, we will take a hit. The same way that the run defense is taking a hit without Brandon Williams. So if Jimmy Smith is not ready to play, I do have a little bit of worry. Not this game, because we're not going against a great quarterback, but in the future. We saw when Jimmy Smith was out against the Patriots, I believe, Tom Brady had his way with us. When he was out against the Cowboys, Dak Prescott was able to do whatever he wanted to do. And I think that this may happen. It matters if Marlon Humphrey is ready for the spotlight. I don't know if you can take Brandon Carr and plug him in where Jimmy Smith is and expect the same kind of production over there. Because, the one's playing against number 1 receivers and Brandon Carr's been playing against number 2 receivers primarily. So I don't know how it goes. Now, of course, Brandon Carr has tape against the top receivers in the league. He used to be a top corner, and of course, receivers move around. So we just don't know. But losing Jimmy Smith would be a big hit, I think, in my opinion. And it's just another shot that really the Ravens can't take right now with how terrible our offense looks. So I think hopefully he plays. Because if he doesn't, it might be the first step but the second step, because Brandon Williams was the first step. The second step to injuries, making a great defense, a good defense, or an okay defense. So let me know in the comments below, how do you guys feel about Jimmy Smith? And does he, do you think this injury is a real big deal? It is an Achilles, and he has glass legs. So let me know in the comments below. We're going to move on to the second topic. And I said this is going to be talking about coaching. But this came out, and a lot of Ravens fans have been looking at this and giving their opinion. So I want to give you guys my opinion, and you guys can give me your opinion in the comments. And it says Breshad, Perriman, and Buck Allen played more snaps than Alex Collins and Jeremy Maclin versus the Steelers. And so there's a lot of reasons something like this may happen. Again, Alex Collins and Jeremy Maclin are relatively new compared to Buck Allen and Breshad Perriman. So it could be a play call thing. Do I think so? No. It's hard to really tell exactly what it is. Does it show bad coaching by Marty Morningwig? I would say yes. I know Alex Collins fumbled the ball, so you had to take him out. But everybody else on that team was lifeless except for him. And there have been running backs in the past, like Adrian Peterson, who fumbled the ball. But you got to keep him on the field, because without him, you have no life. And that's what the Ravens are right now. Without Alex Collins, for the last 2 games, we have had no life. And for Buck Allen to play more snaps, I thought is not good coaching. And especially Breshad Perriman, who hasn't given you anything. I know you liked his deep threat ability, but, I mean, Mike Wallace gives you the same deep threat ability and is a better player. So, Marty Morningwig really confuses me sometimes. I just don't see any scenario where I would have Buck Allen in the game more than Alex Collins. I don't see any scenario at all, like ever, unless Jeremy Maclin has 3 broken limbs, that Breshad Perriman should ever get more snaps than your #1 receiver. I just don't understand it. And it really makes me upset. I think it is bad coaching, and it makes me so sad because I like John Harbaugh, but you know, when your lieutenants are messing up, you know, the captain gets the blame, and that's where it does show bad coaching, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments below, does it show bad coaching in your opinion? I would love to know. We're going to move on to the third topic, and this is a special topic because it came from a lot of you guys. It came from a lot of places on ESPN and everywhere, and it talks about just the NFL altogether. Because, you know, I've been blaming the offensive line a lot for the Ravens' issues, because I truly do think that the offensive line must play better. Joe Flacco is doing the best he can. I really do think that, which is sad. But the offensive line has to play better. Now, are they ready for that? You know, I don't know if the offensive line can play better. I just don't think they have the talent. But the successful teams in NFL today are teams that have quarterbacks that can move and that are agile, and they aren't rushers, right? They're not always Cam Newton. They're not always like Russell Wilson that can pick up 20-30 yards on the ground. They're more like Aaron Rodgers, who, I mean, I'm a fanboy about Aaron Rodgers. He's the best. He has the best pocket presence I've ever seen in my life. But they have Aaron Rodgers. You have a Carson Wentz, who's a young guy, who is showing the ability to break tackles, because the truth is there are only like 3 good offensive lines in the NFL right now. And you know, you got the Raiders, who the Raiders have not been doing as well as they usually have been, but they're still a very talented offensive line. You have, of course, you have the Cowboys, who is the best offensive line in the league, and then you have a team like the Steelers, who have a good offensive line, which is why Ben Roethlisberger does so well, because he has time to throw, and Le'Veon Bell does well because he has a line to run behind. And even Buffalo has a good offensive line, but they're a little shaky sometimes. LaShawn McCoy does dodge a lot of tackles. But there aren't a lot of great ones in the league. Like I said, there's 4 I can count. And the quarterbacks like Alex Smith, who can move, not necessarily run, but move, do better. And so this is a question for the Ravens. The brass, Ozzie Newsome, is it ready to move on from Joe Flacco? Because he does not have that agility. And Joe Flacco does have sneaky athleticism, but he's not as agile. He's not, you know, breaking tackles in the back for like a Carson Wentz, because Carson Wentz does not run the ball, you know, but he does well. Big Ben even gets away from tacklers, and Joe Flacco doesn't. You see quarterbacks who struggle, like Eli Manning, who does the same thing. Peyton Manning, later in his career, in the very last season, struggled because he could not get away. So do the Ravens need to go get a quarterback that can do that? I don't know. I hope not, because I really do like Joe Flacco, and that's my favorite type of quarterback, the big arm, tall quarterback, long bombs. But it really does look like that today's NFL is not going to allow that because of the rules not allowing contact in practices, which means offensive lines are worse. So I think it might need to be a change at quarterback for the Ravens, and that hurts my soul to say, but that's what I think. We're going to move on to the mailbag topic. I'm going to change this slide because now you can send your questions as comments on this video, and I'll pick one for the next video. And this question comes from Ivan. Please let me know if I said that incorrectly. And Ivan asks, do you think the Ravens might fix the O-line during the offseason? Thank you so much for your question, Ivan. And I actually think this question goes in with the last topic. And I think that it's going to be, it's tougher than it was back in the day, right? Like, for example, if you want your defense to get better, just like the Ravens did, you go get good defensive players. It's simple, it's easy, it's done, right? Not simple, easy, and done. You have to have the cap and all that good stuff, but it works out. You know, when you get offensive line, it takes much more than talent to be great, right? It takes a cohesiveness. It takes, yeah, that be a little crazy. You know, you can't just be big and strong. You gotta like to hit people. You gotta be smart. I think offensive line, especially the center position, they're the smartest, some of the smartest people on the field. I just think that it's going to be hard for the Ravens just to do that. In order to do that, you have to go out and get expensive veterans where the Ravens do not have cap space, because you can't just get a rookie. And like I said, it's not like a defense, right? Like, you can get a rookie cornerback, and in about a year, that rookie cornerback will be an okay player, right? You saw with players like Jimmy Smith. You saw for like Tavon Young. Now, cornerback is the hardest position, but when you don't play great receivers, you can be successful, right? And if you're a great cornerback in college, those skills transfer over. Offensive line, because there's so much spread in college, those skills don't transfer over as well. So it's going to be tough. I hope they do. I think they're going to stick with a lot of the players they have now, get experience, get some cohesiveness. Hopefully they get better. And then you might see us draft a guard who can plug in for that left guard spot. Hopefully Marshawn comes back. Or you might even see the Ravens get a tackle, because right now Austin Howard and James Hurst are our options, and Austin Howard may not be here next year, so you just never know. Thank you so much for your question, Ivan. And that has been the episode for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to Raven Space on YouTube for the best Baltimore Ravens content on the internet. Again, follow us on our social media channels. Check out our Raven Space store, where we sell all kinds of great stuff just for Ravens fans like you. And also, if you want to support us, become a Patreon member down in the description below. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.